For more on the earthquake and the risks that remain, we're joined by Dr. Winchelle Ian Sevilla, officer in charge at the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Sevilla. We wonder what made this quake powerful enough to affect multiple countries across the region. Could you briefly walk us through what happened beneath the Earth's surface?
Okay, there are two things I think that makes this earthquake damaging. One, its size, its magnitude. This was a major offshore earthquake with a magnitude of 7.8 that generated both strong ground shaking and tsunami. Another factors that contributed to the damage that we see on the news or we observe during our surveys is the proximity of the earthquake to populated areas like the General Santos City and nearby coastal communities. So it's the size and the closeness of the epicenter to the populated area.
Right, Doctor, can you also explain to us the risks to the Philippines with, fault lines webbed across the country, including some of the more densely populated areas, including Metro Manila, and, for areas as well that felt the tremor further away? We're talking about Sabah in Malaysia, for example. Does an earthquake of this size alter the seismic stress on the neighboring fault lines in the region?
We know that the Philippines is one of the seismically active regions in the world. I mean, we recorded on average up to 40 to 50 earthquakes per day. And once in a while, we are getting these earthquakes that are strong enough that it cause damage to where it occurs. No? And what's really important here are the preparedness and the activities that we are conducting so that we will be able to execute the necessary things in the event of this, the occurrence of these strong and damaging earthquakes. For example, in Metro Manila, one of the things that we are preparing is the possibility of the movement of the West Valley Fault. And that's what we call one of the big one scenario. So it's really important for us that we have to assess, to always evaluate those critical infrastructures. At the same time, strengthen the public education and conduct regular earthquake drills.
Yeah, we'll drill more into the big one later on our interview, but we've seen reports of powerful aftershocks and ongoing rescue efforts, Doctor, more than 24 hours after the main quake. What are some of the biggest risks still facing communities in the hardest hit areas?
As of 4 a.m. today, we recorded more than 900 aftershocks and counting actually. And we expect these aftershocks to continue for weeks and possibly months. While we expect that the number will decrease over time, but some may still be strong enough to be felt across a wide area and may pose an additional risk to those infrastructures that has been already compromised by the main shock. So we always remind our communities, especially near the epicentral area, to always be prepared just in case there will be an aftershock that will occur that may be strong enough to be that might cause additional damage to the compromised structures.
Yeah, Doctor, and just following up on what Julie mentioned, so this quake really is reigniting fresh concerns about, quote, the big one. That is, I believe, a major earthquake of magnitude 7.2 or larger. So apparently that's projected in Metro Manila region sometime in the future. What are some of the gaps this latest incident has exposed and how it needs to be urgently addressed? And I believe that under a building code, structures must be able to withstand magnitude 8 earthquakes. But as we saw the footage, the damage to the buildings, the collapse, those are pretty intense.
That is correct. We know that every strong and damaging earthquakes, it also provides us an opportunity to further improve our infrastructure. So for Metro Manila not even Metro Manila, actually in every parts of the Philippines, because each region has their own big one scenarios. What's really important is we have to enforce our building code, number one, and then we have to identify those vulnerable structures or all the structures. We need to retrofit them. We need to expand our public education campaigns, conduct earthquake drills, and strengthen our emergency response and post-earthquake recovery planning. So I think those are the things that we are focusing, and to ensure that when hopefully it will not come, but just in case there will be another strong and damaging earthquakes, we'll be able to minimize its effect.
Yeah, and just talking about the aftershocks as well, how dangerous can they be for already weakened or compromised buildings and infrastructure? And what is your advice for people who really want to return to their homes or schools or even the workplace?
What's really important is before they go back to the structures or like their houses, the buildings, it's really important to assess first the structural integrity of the building, just to make sure that whenever the structures they see it's already been compromised, it's better to ask the expert to assess that building first, if it's or their houses, if it's really safe to go back, because like we mentioned a while ago, the possibility of aftershocks that might further increase the risk of those infrastructure that was previously damaged by the main shock.
Okay, and Dr. What are scientists like yourself monitoring most closely over the next few days, and what will those observations tell us about the risks that remain?
What's really important is What's really important again is preparedness, because one, we need to ensure again the structural integrity of our building, because we know that currently we don't have any technology, I think, anywhere in the world that we can use to predict an earthquake. So again, to minimize the effect that might be caused by future damaging earthquakes, number one is preparedness, and number two is conducting activities that will help us to prepare and help us to decide what to do whenever if there will be another damaging earthquakes that will occur in the future.
Right. And Doctor, my understanding is that climate change doesn't exactly cause earthquakes, but the effects of climate change, so maybe increased rainfall or rising sea levels, for example, that has kind of made it harder to predict earthquakes. Is that correct? Or is it harder, to monitor, perhaps due to changing fault lines, or maybe not even possible to predict earthquakes at all?
As far as I know, there's no study yet that can directly connect the climate change with earthquake occurrences.
Okay, and Doctor, before we let you go, for viewers across Southeast Asia who have been following this earthquake, and what's the most important lesson they should take away from this event?
Okay, what's really important is one of the things that we observed yesterday was that, encouraging observation we observed is that many people appeared to know what to do during and after the earthquake. And we believe that through regular drills, public information campaigns, and drills, this contributed to that awareness. And for every major earthquakes, this also present us opportunities to further improve our infrastructures. It's very, very important actually, because most of the injuries and casualties are caused by building collapse, for example. So this is the time it reminds us to again retrofit all those vulnerable buildings and critical infrastructures, and we need to further expand our public awareness. And again, we have to do activities like earthquake drills, so that it will give us knowledge on what we should do should another strong or damaging earthquakes
Okay, Dr. Sevilla, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you very much for your time and your expertise this morning. Dr. Winchelle Ian Sevilla, Officer in Charge at the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology.